It's so easy to scroll through social media, see everybody else's wins, and ask yourself the question, why does it feel like I'm struggling? But what I want you to understand are the realities of the struggles that are happening behind the scenes for a lot of successful men. The leaders that look like they've got it all together, but would never vocally be honest about where things are actually breaking down. Because the truth is, you are more than likely carrying a huge mental load, and it is slowly destroying you. And the worst part about this is that you are doing it silently. So today we're going to look at pulling the mask off. I'm going to walk you through the 4 secret mental struggles that a lot of successful men are carrying. And I'm going to share my own story as well, which almost broke me. So struggle number 1 is catastrophic thinking. This is when your brain takes one micro problem that is going on and it takes it right to the very worst case scenario possible. A client cancels their contract, and the next thing that you know is that you are thinking that your business is about to go under, that you're going to lose your house and your family are going to leave you. And you might laugh, and that might sound extreme, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because as men, we are hardwired to protect and provide. So when the business, the thing that provides the security, takes a hit, our threat response goes into overdrive. We stop being rational leaders and we start operating from a place of pure survival. And the worst part is, you don't even tell your wife. You don't tell your team. You probably don't even tell your friends. You just sit there to 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling, playing out a disaster that hasn't even happened yet, which leads directly into struggle number 2, fear. Not the fear of physical danger, the fear of being found out, the fear of it all disappearing tomorrow, the fear that you're failing at home because you're never truly present enough. When you are physically in the room with your kids, but mentally you're in the office still trying to put out fires. That fear creates a low-level chronic stress that never switches off. It's why you can't relax at the weekends, when you go on holiday, when you go on date night. It's why you check your phone constantly under the dinner table, when you're watching TV, when you're around the kids. You're terrified that if you take your eye off the ball for just 1 minute, the whole house of cards are going to come crashing down on you. And I know this because I've lived that life. There was a time when I was building my first business, and on paper, everything looked great. There was this one specific time though, when I was sitting at my desk, it was the school holidays, and my older 2 back then were like 10 and 8. And all they wanted to do was go to the green, play hide and seek, and play with dad. And I was there on my laptop saying, yep, I'll be there in just 30 more minutes, just 30 more minutes. And I worked for 6 hours before we went up to the green. And they sat in the other room watching TV. Eventually, I'd finished my task and said, let's go. So we went up, then my phone pinged, and somebody told me that there was something wrong with one of the links that I sent. So I had to collect the kids up, tell them I'm sorry, and we had to go back down. And I went to go and change that link and got sucked back in for another 4 hours. That day is almost traumatizes my head and my heart, because I think about that as the defining moment where I changed the way that I operate. I no longer wanted to be that man in front of the laptop, misprioritizing my life. Or for what? My business wasn't going to close because I spent an hour or 2 with my kids. It kind of brings me on to struggle number 3, which is imposter syndrome. For a lot of people, you hit your targets, you actually make probably good revenue, and you're probably running a really tight ship with your team. But deep down, there is this voice that's telling you that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve it. You don't deserve this success that you've built, that you just got lucky, that someday, anytime soon, someone's going to tap you on the shoulder and tell you that the game is up. We know that you've been cuffing it. You've been pretending for so long now. Imposter syndrome makes you work twice as hard to prove that you're worth it. It makes you say yes to the things that we should be saying no to, because you are desperately trying to validate your position. And it's exhausting, right? And finally, struggle number 4 is management of all of the ideas that you have. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a business leader, your mind is constantly ticking over. You probably have 50 ideas in a day. But without any structure, those ideas just become chaos and noise. And you end up starting a new project before you finished the last project. You pull your team in 3 or 4 different directions. You then lack clear direction, which pulls you apart in lots of different areas, which can be overwhelming. You've kind of got the vision, but because you're carrying that mental load, the fear, the imposter syndrome, the catastrophic thinking, you can't execute clearly. You are spinning your wheels, working 60, maybe 70 hours a week, and feeling like you're getting absolutely nowhere. If this resonates with you, I think you need to understand, number 1, that you're not alone with this. And number 2, you're not actually even broken. The reason that you're feeling the way that you do feel is because you're trying to carry the whole load by yourself in isolation. You're trying to be the rock for your family and you're trying to be the rock for your business. But you have no one to be the rock for you. You cannot outwork a broken mindset. What you need is an environment. You need a community of like-minded men, business leaders, fathers, husbands, who are fighting the exact same battles that you are fighting right now. Men who will call you out on your catastrophic thinking, hold you accountable to being present with your family, and give you the structure to turn your chaos into execution. That's exactly what we do in the Top 1% Club. If you are tired of carrying the load by yourself and you are ready to rebuild that man behind the business, behind the mission, behind the family, in the description, there is a link to book a call with us. This is just a clarity call. This is not a sales pitch or a sales call. We're not going to try and sell you onto anything. We just want to be able to take the first steps to be able to help you make sense of it all, to be able to understand what you've been carrying and what direction that you're going. We've worked with thousands of guys now, so we've got experience in knowing what position you're in and how to get you out of it. And it all starts with that relationship building between you and us. Stop suffering in silence. Click the link, book the call, and we'll see you on the other side.